Welcome to Tino's Time Wrestling. And on this episode, we are going to talk about the Raw after WrestleMania. This is supposed to be one of the biggest Raws of the year. Everybody's excited. Everybody's hyped. The crowd's supposed to be electric. We're supposed to see returns, title changes. We're supposed to see all these types of things. But it just does not happen. This Raw after WrestleMania, to be honest, was probably one of the worst Raws after WrestleMania I have ever watched. And let's get right into things. The show started off with Bobby Lashley walking into the building, doing his thing, looking like a pimp daddy after he beat Drew McIntyre on night 2 of WrestleMania. He walks into the new Thunderdome, the Ukulele Center. We'll get into that in a minute. He walked into there, he did his thing, and Riddle, bro, he came up to him in his scooter. He's like, "What's up, guy? How you doing?" And he's like, they're talking, and Riddle goes, "If I could take away that United States Championship from you, then you know what? I could take away that WWE Championship." He didn't really say that, but wouldn't that be dope to see Riddle ride around as the scooter as the WWE Champion? That would just be funny as hell to watch the WWE Championship ride around on the scooter. That would be lit, and that would just be something that would be entertaining for a little bit. But they did end up having a match to start off Raw, and Lashley did dominate Riddle most of the match. Riddle did put up a fight, but in the end, Bobby Lashley submitted Riddle, and he picked up the win, and he proved why he's the almighty, and he's the WWE Champion still. I heard a rumor that people are worried that Riddle turns into a jobber, and I really hope that is not true, because I really love Riddle, and I think that he has a chance to be a star in the WWE in the future. I just mentioned it, the Thunderdome went to a new arena. The Tampa Bay Rays had to go play baseball somewhere, right? Baseball season is back, so WWE had to find a new home, and they found the Tampa Bay Residency Ukulele Center. I think that's how you say it. I don't know if I said that right, but anyway, baseball is back, so if you haven't yet, go check out my pre-shows on YouTube before the baseball season gets all the way to June or July, because we know it's gonna fly by because it's beautiful weather outside, and just the summer always flies by. But enough about the summer, and let's get back to Monday Night Raw. The new announced team for Monday Night Raw was announced earlier on before Raw started. It includes Corey Graves, MVP, you're a baller, Corey Graves. Byron Saxton, I love Byron Saxton. He's just funny, and the back and forth banker that him and Graves have is hysterical. And the new guy, welcome to the WWE, MLB's network's very own Adam Verk. And as a WWE fan and as a baseball fan, I'm happy to have you, Adam. And you know, you didn't start off too good, but as the show went on, you got a little bit better. So we'll just have to see what happens. But just welcome to the WWE, Adam Verk, and don't worry, your boy Corey Graves will take very good care of you. But let's get back to the action, and let's get to some wrestling that happened on the show. The first match after Lashley beat the crap out of Riddle for a little bit, it was the return of the Viking Raiders. They were facing the old buddies of the almighty Bobby Lashley, Cedric Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin. It was a shocking return by the Viking Raiders. It was a shock to Raw, to its core, and the bulldozing of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin were not expecting Eric and Ibar to return at all. We have not seen them in a while. Eric sadly got hurt, and then him and Sarah Logan had a baby. So welcome back, the Viking experience, the Viking Raiders. Hopefully they get used like they did in NXT, because I really hope that they do not get wasted, because I just want to see an actual tag team be the Raw Tag Team Champions. I know they have fight for them before, but I want to see them be able to elevate the champions and be that dominant tag team that they were in NXT, because they deserve it. So welcome back, the Viking Raiders. They beat Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin with the Viking experience. Speaking of returns, the other return that happened during the show, it was the return of the Queen, Charlotte Flair. She came back looking better than ever. She was ready to come back and compete for the Raw Women's title. If you remember, she got punished because Andrade, her boyfriend, got released by the WWE, and Vince McMahon is so petty that he told her that she was not going to be on the WrestleMania card. So she was not on the WrestleMania card, which, I'm not mad about it because I thought it was really good. Charlotte Flair, not that I don't respect what you've done, but you've been on the card for so long. You're literally the girl version of Roman Reigns. You would main event every WrestleMania if you could, if it was up to Vince McMahon. Let's be real here. But you came back, you did your thing, and honestly, I'm not surprised you came back. I was waiting for you to come back, and I didn't think it would be this fast. I was hoping to see maybe somebody from NXT come up. Not hating that Charlotte returned, but I was just expecting a bigger name than the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Again, not hating on her, but we've seen Charlotte Flair compete for the women's title over and over and over and over again. She has had more title reigns and more championship reigns than I've had girlfriends in my life. But when she came out and she gave the promo, she said everybody calls her a snake. She called Rhea a snake. I'm sorry. She said Karma is a bitch, and she is that bitch. She is Karma's bitch. And she said that she's better than everybody in the WWE. Again, she has been, and she's proven that she is one of the very best, and she will be a Hall of Famer one day, no doubt about it. But Charlotte Flair, I talked about it in one of my other shows. I just think that you need to be elevating talent, and why can't we have more rivalries like we have on NXT with Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole in an unsanctioned match? Why can't we see Charlotte Flair face somebody like that and have some type of rivalry like that? She doesn't need to have a title opportunity, and she doesn't need to see, she does not need to see the Raw Women's Champion. We finally got Rhea Ripley as the Raw Women's Champion, and you're gonna put Charlotte Flair in the opportunity to get it, and if she beats her, I am literally gonna riot, and I'm going to that Thunderdome and I'm beating up Vince McMahon. Before I get too mad at Charlotte Flair, let's talk about, we had the triple threat match. Or not a triple threat match. I am sorry. Whoa, what am I thinking about? I'm still thinking about Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan match of the year candidate. Let's talk about, a WrestleMania rematch between Asuka and Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Champion. And, this match was turning out to be pretty decent. But then, of course, the Queen comes out and she punishes both of them, and she beats the hell out of both of them, and they get disqualified, and the match ends, and Charlotte Flair beats the hell out of both of them and leaves them both laying there. So I'm sure we are probably going to see a triple threat match at the next pay-per-view on May 16th. That is WrestleMania Backlash. WrestleMania is back in business for 2 months, baby. I don't know what is going on with that. Why couldn't we have just kept it to Backlash? But that is just me. I really hope, as long as Rhea Ripley keeps the title, I don't care what type of match we see, because those three women will still put on a really good show, and I just really hope that is what happens, and we keep Rhea Ripley as the Raw Women's Champion. But I'm spending too much time on Rhea Ripley and the Raw Women's Champion, so let's talk about the next thing that happened. It was Alexa's Playhouse. What is going on with Alexa? I don't know what she is doing. I don't know what is going on, but she comes out after doing some weird things at WrestleMania. She cost the Fiend. She cost him the match with Randy Orton. She distracted him. She sat on the Jack in the Box, and she was bleeding goo, like we talked about in my WrestleMania post show. But she said at Alexa's Playhouse that she did what she did because she realized that she could do it all on her own. She don't need no man. She can do whatever she wants, and she can do whatever the heck she wants, and she don't need the Fiend. And the darkness, maybe she don't need the darkness, and maybe the darkness has found her. And then she realizes, and she introduces this new friend. Her name is Lily. It's literally a puppet, and it's a doll of Alexa. It's really, really creepy. I don't know what it is. I'm really interested, and I am really intrigued to see what goes on the next couple weeks in this, because, it would really be interesting to see Alexa maybe build somebody up and have them destroy the Fiend, because it seems like, thank goodness, Randy Orton is done with the Fiend. Randy Orton said it after in his promo that he's done with the Fiend and he just wants to move on. So I'm happy about that, and I just, I cannot wait to see what goes on with Alexa, because it's really, really intriguing. But after we had Alexa's Playhouse, it was time for the most must-see WWE weekly television show on WWE, The Miz TV, with John Morrison and special guest, the beautiful The Miz's wife, Maurice. Welcome back, Maurice. You looking fine as usual. You are just phenomenal. You need to come back to the WWE and take a women's championship, because you never did hold the women's championship. You only held the Divas title. So let's see you win the women's title. You you are a baller and you are just really, really good and you look phenomenal. The Miz comes out, he's talking, he's doing blah, blah, blah. He's talking about Bad Bunny. He's trying to take credit for Bad Bunny. You know, he's saying that if it wasn't for the Miz, Bad Bunny wouldn't have done what he did. But no, Bad Bunny spent 4 to 5 hours in the ring every single day. He got ready for this match and he proved why everybody in the WWE needs to realize that it is not that easy to be a WWE superstar. It is very difficult, and the Bad Bunny proved that he took it seriously and he put on an instant clinic at WrestleMania. That was celebrity match of the year of all time. Best celebrity wrestling match I've ever seen in a WrestleMania. But after, while His TV's going on, Damian Priest comes out and he defends Bad Bunny and he says, you know, Damian Priest, he did a lot. You know, he didn't do too much in the tag team match, but again, it was big. Bad Bunny was so impressive that nobody really realized. And, you know, Damian Priest still had some good moments. And hopefully he is going to be a star in the making. But after Priest came out and they talked again for a little bit, they ended up having a 2-on-1 handicap match with John Morrison and The Miz versus Damian Priest. And The Miz and Morrison battled in their suits. They didn't even go back and put their gear on. They just, I don't know why. I don't know what the heck they were doing. But them battling in suits made no sense to me. But whatever. The match, 2-on-1 match went on. Maurice, of course, got involved like she always has. She's always helped The Miz. Since The Miz has had Maurice on his side, she's always got involved and she's always helped The Miz, and this was no different. The Miz put his feet on the ropes with his pants down and he was able to get the 1, 2, 3. And why in the heck did The Miz beat Damian Priest? We talk about it all the time. There is no reason for The Miz to beat Damian Priest. Damian Priest needs to be the next star in the WWE. I am ranting so much right now because I love Damian Priest and I just don't want him to get wasted. And why in the heck did he get wasted? And why did The Miz beat him? Okay, I'm done ranting for a minute. I just do not want to see Damian Priest get wasted, and there was no reason for Damian Priest to lose this match. It just made no sense. But after we had the 2-on-1 handicap match, we had a women's tag team match that involved Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose versus the tag team champions of Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. And you know, earlier on Raw, Mandy Rose was seen beating up Nia Jax after Nia Jax was making fun of her for her slip at WrestleMania. And you know, I give it credit to Mandy Rose. She's taking it like a champ and she's not letting it bother her. Congratulations, Mandy Rose, because to be honest, if that was me, I don't know how I would do it. And you know, but Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, during this match, you guys were doing good. It was going to be a good tag team match. Nia slipped like 3 or 4 times. It was karma for all the stuff that she was making fun of Mandy Rose about. But she gets in the ring and then all of a sudden Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke leave the ring and they get counted out and you're facing the tag team champions. Why in the hell would you leave the ring when you are facing the tag team champions? There is no reason for that to happen, and you should literally never get a title opportunity ever again. There is no reason you leave the ring because you're scared. I don't care if it's scripted or whatever. There is no reason for that to happen, and it just makes no sense to me at all, and it just irritates me so much. Just so much. Before we get into Lashley coming out and his celebration victory and, you know, all the other things, let's talk about the New Day versus Shane's McMahon's 2 goons, Jackson Ryder and Elias. And, you know, I talked about it again on my other show I keep referring to. Jackson Ryder and Elias finally got time and they proved that they could be a really good tag team. Elias, I have liked Elias, but he just had never been used. He's always been a musician and he always just has been going out there and doing acts. He's never got the chance or the opportunity to wrestle, and I think that if he did, he would be able to be a great champion and a great mid-card champion, and Elias could have a really good career, but he is in a tag team with Jackson Ryder, and you know, I just really don't like it. But they put on a phenomenal show. Best tag team match that I've seen them have, and they faced the New Day, and the New Day is also another great tag team. But the New Day still won, and, you know, that's okay. But Jackson Ryder and Elias, you show Triple H, Vince McMahon, and Stephanie McMahon that they are wasting you and that you have the ability and you have everything, what it takes to be a future WWE champion and a future champion in general. One day, I am just so impressed with you guys. Now that we talked about the 2 tag team matches, I want to go back a little because Lashley's celebration was before this tag team match. So let's go back a little bit and let's talk about what Lashley's celebration was about. We didn't see Lashley though. MVP came out and MVP was talking his shit and you know he was doing whatever the heck he wants to do. But I didn't understand why not just do this after he beat Riddle and just, you know, it just didn't make any sense. Why not just have this celebration after he beat Riddle? It would have made more sense. But Drew came out, but then all of a sudden Drew McIntyre's music hits and he comes out and he starts talking, but then Braun comes out. Braun Strowman comes out. I just love saying Braun. It's kind of funny, so I'm just going to continuously say it. Braun Strowman comes out and he's talking, blah, 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 blah. And then the next person to come out, we talked about him a little bit earlier with Alexa Bliss. He's finally done with The Fiend and Alexa Bliss. Randy Orton, the Legend Killer, he comes out next and he's like, I want that championship. I'm done with The Fiend. I want that WWE champion. I want to prove why I'm the Legend Killer. And then Adam Pearce comes out and he sets up a triple threat main event, number one contender to face Lashley. So that is the main event of Monday Night Raw, and we will talk about that in just a second. But before we get to that match, I want to take a second and talk about the return of the Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt. We have not seen Bray Wyatt since the TLC pay-per-view. We have seen The Fiend. He has been doing whatever the heck he's been doing. I've heard rumors that it's not The Fiend. I've heard that it's not Bray Wyatt and The Fiend. I've heard it's Bo Dallas, Bo Leave. That would be kind of cool to see The Fiend versus The Fiend. Or maybe even like I was talking about with Alexa. Maybe we see Alexa versus Alexa and she's the happy Alexa that won all the championships a few years ago, and then we see the crazy Alexa. Just something to think about, guys. But the Firefly Funhouse was really entertaining and it was interesting. And even Allie, his little puppet, called Alexa a bitch. He was like, Alexa is a bitch, and he does not, like, he doesn't need Alexa. And he really, I just started dying when a puppet said that about Alexa. I was just like, oh my god. And Bray Wyatt said he is reborn and he feels like himself and he's returned. And he didn't say too much other than that, and I don't even know what is going on with that. We'll have to find out again as the weeks go on, but it's really interesting, and it just, I'm happy to have Bray Wyatt back. I always love the Firefly Funhouse. It should be interesting, but it's just one of those things. I'm happy they're moving on from Randy Orton, to be honest. With all of that happened with Alexa and Bray Wyatt and everything, that's the one thing I am happy about, that they are going to start a new rivalry, and it won't be with Randy Orton, because that just has been going on too long. So again, can't wait to find out what happens with the Firefly Funhouse. But after the Firefly Funhouse, and we still don't know what the hell's going on with Bray Wyatt, it was time for the triple threat main event to see who was going to face Lashley. It was Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Randy Orton. We just mentioned their names a couple minutes ago. And this match was not like the worst. It was a really good triple threat match. They always just have too many tag team matches on Raw. It was a really good triple threat match. And Braun Strowman, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre always put on a show. It was like, they had some really good spots and there was a couple good moments. But in the end of the triple threat match, Drew McIntyre picked up the win, and he won, and he was going on to face Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania Backlash, baby. WrestleMania Backlash is on May 16th, and we will now probably be seeing a bunch of WrestleMania rematches, and now Vince McMahon could put Charlotte on the card, and now he could do all the things he wanted to do, because now he got WrestleMania out of the way, and he put all the things that we wanted to see. So I'm sure WrestleMania Backlash is going to be all of what Vince wanted at WrestleMania, but hopefully somebody at WrestleMania was like, no, that ain't gonna happen. And after the match, Drew McIntyre was celebrating and he was doing his thing. He was getting ready. He was getting excited to face Bobby Lashley. But then all of a sudden, here comes T-Bar and Mace, and they end up choke slamming, doing a double choke slam to Drew McIntyre, and they go run over to the MVP and the Hurt Business. Are T-Bar and Mace part of the Hurt Business now? I mean, to be honest, as much as I don't know if you guys listen, if you listen, you better listen to all my other shows. I talk about Dominic Dijakovic a lot, about him in NXT, and I really like him. So if he is joining the Hurt Business, that's fine with me. At least he will be used, especially after the disaster that Retribution was. Hopefully that is going to be what happens. We'll have to find out, but that is the best, literally guys, that is the best thing that happened on this Raw, was the last 30 seconds when T-Bar and Mace came out and chokeslammed Drew, and they ran over to MVP. We'll have to find out what happens, but literally that was the most exciting thing that happened, because, I've talked about it a lot. There really wasn't too many returns, and to be honest, this just did not feel like a Raw after WrestleMania. It was not exciting. There was not many returns other than the Queen Charlotte Flair, the Viking Raiders. You know, we didn't have that big guy like Mia Yim, Keith Lee coming back. You know, we didn't even have Sheamus on the card. Where was Sheamus? Sheamus wasn't even on the card. Why didn't he come on the card? Your brand new United States champion is not on the card, and you just like it just did not make any sense to me. They just did not deliver, and to be honest, this Raw after WrestleMania was just so disappointing. And there's not too much left to talk about. So there you have it. I tried to make the show exciting. I really did. I hope everybody listens. I hope everybody enjoys. I tried to make it the most phenomenal podcast, and I tried to make it better than all my other ones, but there was just not too much to talk about. So I hope everybody listens. Don't forget to go check out Tino's Time on YouTube. Smash that subscribe button. Help your boy out. Need to get those numbers up. Do your thing, and your boy Tino's coming. He's going to the Hall of Fame one day, and everybody's going to remember his name. And until we do a SmackDown preview this upcoming Friday live on Fox, SmackDown is, this is your boy Tino signing out.